Serena or not, but I don't want to put him in. I could put him out.
for Thursday, May 21st, 8 p.m. And we will dispense with any reading of any of the minutes at this point, and we'll do them next meeting. And what was the last meeting anyway? Did we have a January meeting?
I don't think we did. That's what we were looking at. So I think it might have been December.
December even, okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right, then we'll start with the first applicant, which is 20-01, installation of two identical building signs, excuse me, on Unionville Tavern. So whoever comes in for that. Okay, that's Candace. Okay, why don't you tell us what you want to do?
Okay,
We have copies of you.
I'm gonna pull them up too as well.
Okay. No, that's not the right one, I don't think, is it?
It's coming, yeah.
Oh, here you go. Yeah.
I happen to have a very good likeness of the sign being held by, up against the building that's on the front of the building, and
Okay, why don't you tell us, the sign is made of what?
it's made out of 1/8-inch steel plate. It's cut on a plasma cutter. It's a very strong, solid piece of steel. There are going to be stars cut in the top of that one that you see there. You just hadn't gotten to that yet. It's actually a family friend that's building that sign, and because of coronavirus, he went ahead and built that one. So it makes
Okay,
it an object anyway.
okay, is this just a metal? Is it just a finished metal, or is there a coating on it? Kind of explain that to me a little bit. 'Cause it's
No,
a little-
we're actually hoping that it will weather. You know, it should weather and turn into a nice rust patina without harming the structure of the sign. The way it'll be adhered to the building is stainless steel bolts.
How are you getting how are you getting the Unionville in white then, or in a different color, different shade? Is that
That's
just,
not whiteout. That's actually cutout. That goes right through the sign. That's a plasma cutter. You know, that shoots sparks up in the air. Actually made that sign. It's kind of a cool process.
so you're telling me when I look at the E, I'm actually seeing the white from the thing behind it?
That's correct, sir.
Oh, okay, okay. And you're gonna do two exactly the same signs,
Well, yes, we are.
except one may have stars, I guess, is what you.
Well, and both of them are going to have the stars in the top arc, like the logo that I presented in your packet there.
Yeah, right, right. I see, I have that. Okay, and the mounting of these things?
I think the gentleman that cut them out had to put that in his in the proposal there. But it's gonna
No,
be-
I'm saying the location of the mounting.
Okay, I checked that off in the building. There's going to be one sign, this one that is going to be right where it's being held up in the blank space between two windows to the right of the door facing the street. And the other one is going to go on the peak of the building on the south side of the building facing the parking lot as you come into town. Both of them are illuminated. The one on the peak has an illuminate. You can see the light fixture that's still up there. We'll straighten it out a little when we put up the sign.
There is no self-illumination in the sign, though.
No, sir.
No. And so the one in the front will not be illuminated? Or-
The one in the front, right above it, in that eave above it, is
Oh, that one has it. And
it
the
has
other,
lighting. It has lighting from the eave that'll indirectly count.
okay. And the other one has lighting from above?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You might be able to pick it out on that picture of the end building where it shows the parking lot.
Okay, I guess we'll start. Kurt, do you have anything to say, or?
Well, he's talking about putting the other sign on the side of the building. And I thought it was not permitted by our town code to have signs on the side of the building. I remember us forcing another building owner in that same area to remove the numerous signs he had put on the side of his building a couple of years ago. And I know we've made that requirement of a number of other businesses in the town. So
Was it because of the amount of signage, or was it because it was on a side?
Because it's on the side.
I thought-
The code reads specifically that it's the front of the building facing the road. Our attorney on the board here probably can express that better than I can.
Didn't we just approve Orange Bank with a side sign?
Yeah, we did.
I think you're correct. Yeah,
They painted the building though. It wasn't a sign. It was a painting
Yeah,
of the
it was-
building because they were
No,
always.
it's
Did a sign to the side of the building coming from Four Corners towards Hawthorne. They ordered an Orange Trust or whatever the bank name is,
Yeah, they painted it. She's right. They painted it.
painted it, but it's signage.
yes. That's why I don't remember that they couldn't have anything on the side. That's why I'm saying.
If I may say, that's, the side actually looks like it works like a front of a building.
Well, I know, yeah, I'm familiar with the building, so I know that goes into the parking lot, and that's the road that comes up.
Mark,
Um,
yeah, hold your space bar down and you can talk. Carolyn, you've got Mark.
Oh, do I have them on mute?
Muted.
Okay.
Mark's muted, yeah. And Al is muted as well.
Oh, how'd that happen? Oh, you must have muted yourselves. Okay, sorry, guys.
Yeah, you have the ability to do that.
Oh, there you go.
Just kidding.
Al, you have to unmute
Okay,
yourself.
Al, you got anything?
I don't really recall there being a prohibition against the side of the building. I don't really recall that,
I
Kurt.
don't, okay.
And,
through the code now.
I mean, the point is,
I'm sure Mr. Gisandi remembers.
all right, I mean, if it can't be done, we can't approve that, but it would be subject to the
I
code, which we.
I think
can't
it's a
amend.
well-done sign and it looks nice. I can't see any reason, unless there's some code, but then we would not have approved Orange Bank to put even the painted sign.
I certainly didn't approve of any.
You probably weren't at the, I
sign on
don't
the
think,
side.
yeah, I don't think you were at that meeting.
The sign
Sabrina.
itself, I think, is very nice.
I have no problem with the sign. It's a nice sign.
Yeah.
I
You
have a
want me to
question.
confirm that with the building inspector, anyone, or just to cite that code so whether we know for sure?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay, well, we can, Sabrina, any comments?
I do recall, I was at that meeting and I know we allowed the bank to paint what looks like a sun, an orange sun.
Yes,
of some
yes,
sort.
you're correct.
So I don't know if that's discrepancy, but we did allow a form of signage on the side of the building. So I agree with Marisa. I think the sign is well done. But again, if we need to fact check it, that's what we have to do.
Okay.
Mark?
I'm sorry, I have a question about the sign, the material. See, I know you said it was steel and you said that you're hoping it'll have like a rusty patina. Do you have any idea, I guess, how it will weather, and will, like, when it's affixed to the building, will the rust drip down to the painted side of the building? Is there any kind of,
The signs have 2-inch offsets off the building to create a shadow effect, so there wouldn't be any, and the stainless steel offsets that are fused to the back of the sign, they won't rust. They're stainless steel.
okay,
That there's no issue with that. I don't think it's a steel. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to melt. It's not going to rust. It's not going to deteriorate. It's just going to be a patina on the sign. If
right.
need, I think it's fine.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize it was going to be offset from the building. I thought it was going to be, fixed right on it. So I guess with 2 inches, even a drip would probably miss the siding. I think it's a pretty design also.
Charlie, anything?
I have no comments on it. If the discussion's if everybody's ready, I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
All right,
Go ahead.
I motion to approve the sign.
Okay, do we want to put a basis of whether or not it's legal, as Kurt has pointed out? So.
Yeah,
we'll
sure.
con-
I motion to approve the application on the condition that it is allowed by our town rules.
Okay. All right, I guess I'll take a vote then, unless anybody wants any more comments on the signs?
I would like to. Can I just make one more comment if I could?
Sure.
I been at that building since 1971. And when I first got there, and you can still see it a little bit because the neon burnt into the building, right where we're going to attach that sign on this, or hope to, on the south side of the building, you can read the script that says Colonial Tavern from where the script neon was.
Yeah,
And it was there forever on that side of the building, if that makes any.
Just because there were violations in the past doesn't mean we can approve violations now.
No, I understand. I just wanted to point that out because
right, right.
But I
Yeah.
think as a business owner in town and you're coming from the Hawthorne area, which is major parkways that lead to the business, it's nice to have the signage on the side and a well-done sign. It makes sense to have it there.
Yeah.
If I own the business, I would want the signage on the side there as well.
It's not our position to change the code.
Well, as I interpreted, I thought we had other buildings besides the bank that had some signage on the sides because of,
They
I
do. I
I
mean, you
can
look
name
at
a couple of
code, people-
instances in which we made people remove them, including the.
Like who? Like who? In all the years?
Gisandi, you haven't been here that long. Gisandi's building there is that gorgeous
Right.
building there on the corner of, where 141 makes that turn. And he had his electrical signs and all sorts of other signs there.
Well, I mean, multiple signs is a lot different than a well-done.
Now, it wasn't because of the multiplicity. Then there's also the subway had a sign on the side of their building, the subway that's north there of the Four Corners, had a sign on their side of their building, and we made them remove it as well.
well, what I'm just wondering about is we have later on these applicants, we have a building coming in which has two different businesses, and one of the business signs is on a side and the other one is in the front. So I think we've approved those before, but anyway, but if we're all in agreement, we'll pass this sign as presented, and with the criteria of the building inspector deciding whether or not it can go up or not. So if
Agreed.
that's
I think
Agreed.
that's the best way to proceed.
okay. I'll take a vote then on that. All in favor? I don't know how you do this one, Carolyn.
Aye.
Aye.
We can actually raise our hands.
Actually, yeah, do we have, if we could just do one at a time, Walt, maybe you can call the board members one at a time, and then
Oh,
also,
okay.
I didn't get a second on that one, I got a motion from
Oh, okay,
Charles.
right. So
I'll
someone-
second, I'll
Okay,
second.
Sabrina will second. Okay, Al,
I move for approval. I mean, I'm for it.
approval, right? Kurt, yeah, I should say.
Subject to it conforming with the town ordinances, I agree, it's a nice sign.
Okay, Mark,
Same, I agree, subject to the ordinance.
Marisa,
I approve as well.
yes, Sabrina? You second, so I guess you're in
seconded
favor.
it, yeah.
Okay, and I'm in favor, so,
And
oh, Charles?
I think
Can I
Charlie,
make Can I just make one comment?
Sure.
We're all like loving how the sign looks. In the event that the sign doesn't weather well, would you replace it with a newer sign or something? I'm just curious because,
If it doesn't look good, we just, paint it.
oh, you'll paint it. Okay, yeah, no, that's the only thing I worry about is sometimes like you're not sure of how the material is going to outlast the weather and the winters we have. So I wonder as it starts to not look so nice, if you would upkeep it. That's all I ask.
Not a problem at all, absolutely.
more.
Okay, Charles?
Carolyn, Charlie, I think muted himself again. I see him on the notes on the side. He asked if you could unmute him one more
He can
time.
do it himself.
Thank you.
It was his motion. It was his motion. Mr.
I vote yes.
Oh, right.
Okay, all right, then it's unanimous based on the fact that, I guess that the building inspector will allow it, pretty much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Okay.
Gordon. So Gordon, you would wait for the decision and then you could get our signed resolution and go to the building department with your permit as it's determined, okay?
Very good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay, I lost everything. All I got now is the Zoom words.
Just
Really?
go
Let
in
me
the,
see if I
just
get
go in
your
the
video.
corner. Just go in the corner in the right-hand corner, Walter, and you can change it to the grid view.
I just for the future, I noticed before, so I muted myself, but then when I went to unmute, a window popped up and said that you've been muted by the administrator. And then
Right,
I-
that's our instructions. That's how the board wants the town wants to run the board meetings. They want the host to be in charge of letting people speak so that we had gotten bombed one time. So we have it run that way. That's our instructions.
Okay, I
So-
got
Okay,
something
I
here
wanted-
that says, I'm both the Zoom virtual assistant. Ask me a question, how do I get back on the screen?
Move your mouse or your cursor up into one of the corners and usually some options will pop up for you.
Okay, I got my picture, personal. Then I got something called collections. Then I got favorites. This is not what you
No,
need.
that's your URL. That's your browser, Walter. You need to be in your Zoom screen. So press the escape key on your keyboard.
But we see you fine, Walter.
Yeah.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm hitting the escape. All right,
Yeah, so
that,
if you hit escape, that should restore the window down. And if you click on the right-hand corner at the top of Zoom, you should have a grid view. You should be able to go to that gallery view and then switch it to speaker view.
I see nothing that's, it says
You don't have
support.
that?
It says
No.
support in English is all I got on top.
How about if you look on the bottom of your
I
icon,
got a little,
at
I
the bottom,
got,
you see the little camera?
yes, I got a
Click on the
little
camera,
blue here.
blue and
No,
white camera.
That gets me no.
No?
Here's a
Walter,
little
try
camera.
hitting-
Hold- hold.
Walter, hit,
Walter,
Walter, hit the minimize button on the top of the internet window. If you hit the little minimize little line, then
Yeah.
you see us
Oh,
now.
beautiful. Work. I got you all.
Good job, he's back.
Good job.
All right. Okay, the next proposal is 20-02. It's construction of a building with office warehouse space, 2 levels of private parking, garage below grade, no signage at this time. So I guess we're looking at the building. Who's the representative?
I am Tim Weber with Aquest, the owner applicant.
I'm sorry, which,
It's Tim Weber.
Tim, okay, Tim.
Yeah, I'm also here
All right,
with
why
Adam
don't-
Schwak, who's
why
our
don't you
lead
present-
architect.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about it and maybe you have I guess we have the pictures, but,
Yeah, I'm gonna get the other guy on first, okay? And then I don't see that he's got audio. Is that right, Tim, you think, or no?
He
Hi,
may.
this is-
Oh, he's there.
This is Adam Schwab. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can't
Yes.
see you, Adam. Do you have a video or no?
No, I'm still at the office. Unfortunately, I don't have a webcam.
Okay, I won't look then. So I'm just gonna get your screen up on there, Tim.
Okay. Sounds like, Adam, you're pulling a 14-hour day today, huh?
Yes, I am, but I'm getting a lot done.
Good.
Okay, here you are,
there
Tim.
you go, beautiful.
Great. All right, yeah, thank you all for being here. First of all, I know it's not easy, and thank you especially to Carolyn and Kathy. You guys are superstars, and without you guys, we wouldn't have any of these board hearings going. So, like always, I know I say all the time, but I do appreciate it. So keep up the good work. Yeah, I just want to run you guys through some of my notes and just kind of give you guys a backstory on this project. Obviously, this is not a sign. This is a very big project that's going on right in the middle of town there. This is Aquest's third large project, not quite of this scale, but we did 2 other 80,000 square foot buildings just adjacent to this building, dating back to 2015. So really, Aquest owns, we own almost a quarter mile of Route 9A, Summit River Road at this point, which I was just thinking about today, which is pretty unbelievable in the things we've been able to do and looking forward to do with the town. So just kind of going back a little ways, we received approval from this board 10 months ago in July of 2019 for a 2 warehouse building concept. They're both going to be 106,000 square feet of warehouse with a 10% or 20% office component, I believe, within the 106,000 square feet, 129 parking spaces per building. So since we received approval from this board, or site plan approval from the town, we've actually landed a really good tenant, and we've been working with them now for seems like 7 months going through this process. We've received our variances for our height variance, which is just over the 35 feet, and a couple other variances for the interior of the building. So this new layout is 153,000 square foot building, and the building has a loading canopy to the north. You guys can see on your renderings and extra elevations, and then to the south, there's 46 parking spaces and loading for semi trailers. So kind of comparing the, what we had approved with you guys last year compared to now, really on this site plan, we just have, loading components, and we have 46 parking spaces for for employees within the building, and a few people, clients from the public that'd be stopping by. Otherwise, all of the parking is located below the building, out of sight from Sawmill River Road and from the Parkway. So we've taken liberty of hiding everything underneath the building, and that's what we've put in front of the town now, dating back. I believe our first submission was the first week of January at this point of 2020. So we also lowered the height of the building. So I did have a package in front of this board back in March, but we couldn't, go through with the hearing, unfortunately. But since then, it kind of gave us a little bit of time where we actually lowered the height of the building from 52 feet to 38 feet. So really has lowered the impact on 9A, so I think it's a really good thing. So really the last project was speculative. This one, we do have a tenant that we're working with, so they have, expectations for their design and their standards. So we've been working with them on that, and I think it's turned out really nice. It's highest and best use for this site. It's gonna be very well constructed. It's gonna be modern, high-tech warehouse. It's really gonna complement the other uses on 9A in that corridor, which are really all, white, grayish buildings with black, blackish, aluminum windows, and it has this really high-tech look as you drive through that corridor. So we're trying to keep that going, and then accent the main employee entrance, which is in the southeast corner of the building, to kind of draw people that are visiting the site to park up front there. Otherwise, we're trying to make it as low impact on 9A and on the town, as you really can. So again, it's heavy precast concrete panels that come in 8-foot lengths, and we set it up all the way around, then we put the roof on. So this isn't some prefabricated building. This is very high-end building. It's really from the front going to look like more like a high-end retail than a warehouse. So we're excited about that.
Is this going to be solar? Is it going to be independent with the solar system you have?
It is. So there's no gas. As everybody probably is aware of, there's a moratorium on gas. So the building is run exclusively by the electrical service. So we have the solar panels, that was part of our site plan approval last year, something that's really good, but also it's going to help to lessen the impact of the building operation by having the solar panels, which are going to help to offset the cost of running the building. So right now the plan is for that to be exclusively for our building, and if it becomes more somehow, then it's gonna go back to the grid.
Okay, so you're here only for the building. Now, do you plan on doing any additional landscaping, or just what you have here? It will be basically lawn with your trees in the back. I assume the trees water you from or camouflage you from the highway behind you?
They do, yeah. So to both of those questions, so there is a lot of mature trees around this property. We're keeping all of the trees on the boundaries in place. So all those mature trees are going to stay there to help block around the building. This is just a rendering, Walter. So really, if you look at our landscaping plan, we have a ton of landscaping on this site. It's really going to look nice, especially we're focusing on the 75-foot setback that we have from the front of the building to the road there, but really especially lessen the impact of the building along the frontage. So we have a lot of focus on landscaping in the front. Just seeing as this is a rendering, it's very difficult to actually put all the landscaping on there and find the right trees, and we just didn't want to show something that wasn't accurate. But there's a lot of landscaping, so we're working with the town on that. We've submitted stamped landscape plans.
Okay. And you, as far as, do you see any signage in the future, or I don't know if we'll be for a tenant or just that you're not, do you have maybe I should ask you this, do you have the place leased at this point, or?
So we're working with a tenant, a user for the building. We do not have the signage yet. It's not part of this application.
No, I
so
understand that, but there will be signage then.
There will, yes, that's correct.
Okay. Okay, that's Why don't we start? Kurt, you got anything?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My first question is, can you tell us who the tenant is?
I cannot. I can tell you everything about the operation, Kurt, but I cannot disclose who the
Okay,
tenant is at this
can you
time.
tell us what kind of a business? Is it wholesale, merchandise, retail? Is it chemicals and toxic waste, or
Yeah, sure. So to that question, it's a warehouse operation. There's nothing hazardous coming into the building, being stored in the building. But really the way the building is being run is at night, semi-trailers come in, they drop off packages, they are sorted throughout the facility like a FedEx facility, and then they go out to the other side of the building to be delivered during the day. So nothing is sitting in the building, it's just packaged in.
so like an Amazon Prime then?
Yes, like that. Yep. Yeah. So it's just
Can you-
moving packages.
I'm sorry, Adam, thank you.
Are you able to
The other
disclose who is tenants in the last two buildings that we approved, or no?
Am I able to disclose? Oh yeah. Yeah.
I
So
have one more question if I could, and then I'm done.
sure.
Adam, you were telling us, or Tim, is it? I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep looking at Adam's name.
All right.
Tim, you were talking about the loading dock, and in all of the pictures we were seeing, I didn't get an exact idea where that loading dock is.
I could go
Sure.
back. If you want to tell me which picture is best,
Was
Tim, I can.
was
go
it
back.
covered? Was it that big roof covering? Is it really that concealed?
Yeah. So there's actually two loading areas. So I'll start with the semi-loading areas in the southwest corner of the building. So Carolyn, if you put up the first rendering photo, 1 of 5.
Let's do, yeah.
That should be it. Yeah, that's correct. So that's the south facing facade of the building. We have that, you can see that architectural canopy right there that's just to the left.
Yeah, very
That's
nice.
that's actually to go into the parking deck that's below the building.
Yeah.
Behind there, you can't even see it's actually being shaded by that canopy. There's 10 semi-trailer loading docks pushed way to the back of the building that are facing really the parkway and facing the warehouse building that we own to the south. So they're pushed as far away from Sawmill as we could get it.
I gotta say, it's a beautiful design. It looks lovely. I have no more questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just have a simple question. Can you give us an idea in, I guess, football fields, how big this building is?
That's a good question.
I mean, it seems enormous. It's very nice looking, but I'm just curious as to.
Yeah, so to give you an idea, also the building we built next door, I don't know if you're familiar with it. We just opened it up about a year ago. It's
Yes.
NoScope Products, which are doing very well, which is great to hear. They are 85,000 square feet on 5 acres. So this project is 153,000 square feet on almost 11 acres. So really,
It's about 3 football fields or so, I would say, for the building.
Okay.
The football field's like around, I think 50,000, maybe 55,000.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
So just based on the scale, I was trying to make the point that like really it's scaled the same as our project next door. It's just obviously the building and the property is much bigger.
Is it going to increase the traffic flow in that area of Hawthorne? Like, are a lot of employees going to be going there? Like, what do you anticipate on the flow? It seems like there's a lot of parking spots. So is that for the employees? Is that, I don't assume it's for anybody that's just running in, because you didn't say it was retail. You said it was a warehouse. So I'm just wondering what traffic is going to be like over in that area, because we don't have any traffic lights. I know that area really well.
So that's a great question, and I'm sure Carolyn is going to love to hear this, and she knows now. But we've been working through the process with the Department of Transportation. I had a meeting with them back in January, and as of last week, we finally received their informal approval on a traffic light for that corridor. So really, it's going to act as a traffic calming measure for that whole Sawmill River Road corridor there. It's going to line up with Belmont. So anybody that lives up on Belmont in those residential neighborhoods, they're going to have the benefit of that light. So it's a shared benefit there. It's going to slow cars down. As everybody knows, it's on this call. I mean, really nothing has changed in that corridor in decades. I believe over 50 years, if I'm not mistaken. And this was just a large nursery for a long time. And because of this development, we've been working through the process with DOT, and because of the traffic and the size of the building, we've received approval for mitigation on 9A to add another lane for a turning lane into the site, and also to put in a traffic signal, which we're excited about. I think it's long overdue.
It sounds like there's going to be a lot more traffic, not necessarily employees as much as it is delivery vans going in and out all day long.
Well, as we know, that's
So
really
the
not our
parking spots-
purview.
Right.
It's not our purview. You're right, but I thought it was a good question just for
Good question.
our curiosity.
We're
Yeah, I
always
want to make
curious.
everybody aware of what's going on. You guys are the public, so I just want to,
Yeah.
any questions
we
you guys
appreciate
have.
And we need more traffic lights on that stretch of roadway anyway. We really do. So thank you for getting another traffic light on that stretch.
Sabrina?
Yes, I was asking, besides the tractor trailers that come in with the deliveries, I'm just curious about the employees. How many employees do you anticipate on housing there on a daily basis? I know traffic is going to increase. I'm just wondering what it's going to do to that section of 9A.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about this operation is it's really spread out throughout the day. It's not like everybody's coming at the same time. The way it's run, it is very spread out. So not everybody's pulling out 9 at the same time. It's actually off peak from typical, 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. hours and 4:30 to 5:30. It's actually more in the early afternoon and more in like the 7:30 to 9:30 time at night. So we've been going through the process again with our traffic consultant, DOT. And the light was what was asked of us to mitigate that and to, help everybody.
Anything else, Sabrina?
No, thank you for answering that question.
Charlie?
Thank you, Mr. Stitch.
Charles? Charles, are you
I
there?
got him on mute. Let me unmute him. Oh,
Okay.
he got me on mute. Okay, Charles, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I have no further comments. I'm good, and thank you, Carolyn.
Okay. Mark, are you all set?
Yes, I'm okay. I think it's nice and doesn't cause
Okay,
any.
then I'd like to have somebody make a motion.
I'll make a
I'll move for
motion.
approval.
Second.
Okay. Either Mark or Al made the motion, the other one seconded, whichever one you heard.
Sounds good.
Okay, pretty much all in favor, just put your hands up. I don't have to go through all. Anybody against? No, looks like everybody's. Charlie, I can't see your hand, so.
I'm for.
Okay, so you're approved. And now you, just to make sure we're together, you'll get back with any signage or anything exterior else that you're gonna put out, any kind of parking lights or anything like that outside. Okay?
I would see that happening in early fall, just to give you guys a sense of timing.
When do you
Okay.
think the building will be done? I'm sorry, I didn't ask that.
If all goes as planned, we are pushing as hard as we can while being careful, obviously. We're looking at next fall.
Okay, thank you.
This application is still in the planning board, so they're very close they're getting close to a public hearing, so you can see it more if you want to come to some of the planning meetings.
Thanks, Carolyn. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Okay.
Ed.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Take care.
Okay, onward.
Good job.
2003. Installation of a new 4-foot building sign, India Center of Westchester on Brady Avenue in Hawthorne. Let the person identify themselves, who's ever bringing that here.
I don't recognize the applicant here, so if anyone can identify themselves, please.
Now I think this has about 3 of them, right? It has all
Yeah.
the signs. Is it all the same applicant?
Yes.
Yeah, it's correct. It's 3 separate applications on one property. Let me see. I'm gonna bring up the application.
It's the
That
purple
was-
building, right?
The purple
Correct.
building, that's right.
Right.
Heard I was paying attention.
Thank you.
It looks like your blouse.
Oh my
I
God.
was-
It's
I
my
was
best
calling,
friend.
I was calling it maroon, and I said, I don't think there is a maroon these days anymore. So I think I was showing my age because Marissa said it was plum, so that's probably more in keeping.
No, it's good. Maroon's good.
The building, yeah.
It's purple, so I was. a
Now
little
now it looks a little more purple, I guess, than it did
So
to
I
me
think if
yesterday.
you say purple and then we saw what we saw live, it looked better than expected.
Yeah, Yeah.
It did. I also went by it as well.
Now, there's no representation for this?
I don't hear anyone. I'm trying to get to the picture that shows the actual application and the name, but apparently.
I got it in front of me, Carolyn.
Oh, good. Who is
I
it?
gotta get, let me see, Munish Camper,
Kampur, yeah.
Munish Kampur.
Now, the sign is Sign Inc., Jim Polinsky.
Right.
I don't know him, so.
I don't see if anyone can raise their hand. There's two numbers I don't recognize, but they're not replying, so I don't, I muted everybody.
I mean,
Were they the folks that were on earlier, Carolyn, and they said they would come back in? Were they them?
no, they were not.
Oh,
All right, we'll bypass then 3, 4, and 5. I guess it's the same for all of them.
I like the color. I just want to say is I like the color, but that, I'm glad they're not here to hear me say this, but that, whatever you call that symbol is, I don't know
What?
if anybody's looked at it, but,
Oh,
woo! Thank you. Look at this thing.
yeah, I had a little bit questions about the signage on the doors. I don't know, the glass
decals.
doors.
No decals.
Yeah.
Decals.
Tailored menus.
I agree with Walter, but how else can they put 3 names on there better than?
So when they say, can you identify yourself? Oh,
Well, they have the signs on the buildings.
I think I heard someone. Hold on.
I think the lady
they are.
Marie started talking.
Yeah, is this Tony DiGuglielmo? I can't pronounce that, sorry.
No, he's for tailored menus.
Tailored menus. Okay, that's the other one then. So, we can just second call it maybe at the end, Walter, just in case they get back.
Okay, we'll do 20-06, which is the new sign on tailored menus, and that's in Castleton Street in Pleasantville. And if we don't have anything here for that, so he'll have to present it a little bit.
I'm going to get him unmuted. This is Bob Eberts, right? Okay, Bob, I'm going to bring up your picture thing. Hold on. There you go. Okay, Bob. I'm going to get your picture up, Bob.
Thanks for hearing us tonight.
Okay, I don't have the picture yet. You still getting it up?
Yes, I'm working
Keep
on
working
it.
on it.
Oh, okay.
Stop sharing this.
Where are you guys in relation to Prospero's Winery? Are you right near there?
Directly adjacent to it.
Mark,
Okay.
this is the building, Mark, we did with the dance studio.
The dance studio, right?
That's
Oh,
correct.
yes.
It's by the recycling center. It's when you go down to the recycling center, right?
That's correct.
The ball field's to the north and then the recycling center is to the west.
Yeah, okay, here's the picture with the dance now.
Right, there's the dance studio sign. You can see it at the vestibule. Now, this use is a catering facility that currently exists on the first floor in the back corner of the building. And with the COVID things that are going on, he's developed a large business of people coming and picking up prepared meals. The trouble is people can't find him. So he'd like to open a storefront in the front corner of this building where people can come and pick up these prepared meals. No food will be prepared there. It's just a pickup place for the meals that have been prepared in the existing commercial kitchen in the back. So if we go to the next picture, there you can see where this facility will be. This is the front left corner of the building. You're standing on Castle right now, looking at the building. And our proposal is to cut some windows in the face of the building and a door, and then put a canopy, a 4-foot canopy extending out over those windows, and then putting a sign on both elevations as well.
Okay, can you put, Caroline, can you put the hand where, is that, yeah, the hand is all over the place.
Yeah,
Which
tell me where you
wall
wanna
is, which wall is this sign gonna be on and where the window's gonna be cut out, I guess is what I'm asking.
There's going to be one window cut out on the left side of the building.
So right
And
here, Bob, where my marker is?
where that door is, that's correct. And there'll be,
So you're putting a window next to the door, is that what
no, we're taking out that door.
are you taking the door out?
Yeah. If you go to the drawing, it might be a little bit
I
clearer.
think they have a proposed coming up, Walter.
Okay,
Go to A4, that's probably the clearest view.
I got it enlarged. Let me reduce it a little bit.
This is a site drawing. It shows the existing space in the back right corner. That's where the commercial kitchen is now. And in the opposite corner, front corner of the building is where we're proposed work is going to be.
All right, let me get to the next one.
This just shows the existing floor plan. This is the floor plan, shows the new 4 windows and the door that we're adding. You can see the door on the left side is taken out. And what's going to go on here is it's just some refrigerated cases and a counter for the most part. You could come in, pick up their things out of the refrigerated counter and pay for it, or in many cases they'd have already paid for it when they ordered it.
now is there gonna be, I'm not too clear, is there gonna be multiple windows?
Yes, 4 windows.
4, okay, then it's what I'm seeing.
I get to that page yet,
This
Bob?
is the existing. Go to the next one, you'll have it.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Can you bring
Yeah.
a little higher?
Yes. Well, let me enlarge it a little bit. That's an awning there?
It's
This
the
is the
bottom
left
one though.
side of the building where the door was taken out
Right,
and the small awning was put
That's-
over it. And if you go down a little bit
Yeah.
further,
a little more, Carol.
Gotta move my screen up, I guess.
Yeah, a little more here.
Something's blocking it here. Oh, I see, it's over here.
Well, it looks nice. What color is the awning?
the
There you
awning
go.
is going
Thank
to
you,
be
that's good.
wood shingles with a white fascia and white brackets. The windows are going to have a black anodized finish similar to the existing windows in the building. The background is a concrete block that's painted a medium gray, as you saw in the pictures, and the clapboard is painted white on the building. So what we'd like to do is, because there's parking in front of this, we're going to put some planters in front of the windows so that cars don't come in and touch the windows. You know, we don't want them to go a little too far. So they act as a parking stop as well. It's being attractive. Now the sign that we're adding, as you can see, is going to be a pin-mounted individual letters and halo lit. So the letter's going to stand off the background by about 2 inches or 1.5 inches. And then the lights are going to be tucked behind the letters. The letters are going to be white during the day, and at night when the lights come on, the background will turn white and the letters will turn black. So it'll be very visible. Now the radish, as you can see, which is his trademark, the radish is actually going to be backlit, and that's going to be red, the radish piece of it. And then the leaves will be a light and dark greens, similar to radish leaves. But that's the only color that we're adding, other than the.
Carolyn,
black and white.
Kathy emailed me a very pretty depiction of the sign. Do you have that?
Let me see if I have that.
I did not give you a color, but I have it if you would allow me to share it.
I can't allow you to share, but was it silly to ask you to put it up to your screen?
I could have sworn
I
I
don't have
saw.
it printed to do that.
All right, let me see if I could find it, Kurt, because this is what I have for this one. Maybe Kathy did send me another one.
But I have colors. You can see the red of the radish and the 2 green colors, the light and dark green, which is the radish leaves. So that's the color, but that's just the radish now. The other letters, again, will be black and white, depending on whether it's night or day.
No, I could have sworn I saw a color rendering of it. Where did it go?
It might have. I'm trying to think.
It actually was I thought it was very pretty.
I believe I submitted it. I
very
submitted a copy of the logo in color as a hard copy, but I did not attach it.
Oh, okay. Well, if Kurt saw it, then it must have been that Kathy sent it out then, so.
Yeah, I got it.
I did not get it because I got the plans, that Kathy sent today, but there was nothing in color. Well, I got an email anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what I did with it.
Probably get
No,
back.
Kurt had asked for something more on his email, so. But I think you put the colors up again, just so what you just had up,
Sure.
just so everybody could see.
It's the red and the green, and then
It kind of looks, it depends on how the light hits the red. It goes from purple to light red, depending on.
You're
that's-
right.
Yeah,
It's the red of a
good.
radish. That's what
Yeah.
we tried to match, the color of a
Yeah.
radish.
And what is the blue now?
Well, it's actually greens. It's a dark green and a light green. Now, the
Okay,
dark
see-
green will be the front leaf. And if you look at the logo, there's two side leaves. So the side leaf will be the lighter green and again, the lighter
Okay,
green.
they both look blue, to me anyway.
Yeah.
Charles, you got
It's a
something?
bluish
with us?
green, but it's definitely the green of a radish leaf. you know.
Yeah,
No, I think it looks fine. I'm good with it. Very okay. No comments.
okay. Mark?
I'm good with it based on its location. I mean, this is something I think we don't really discuss too often, but certain things, depending on where they are, like this building is tucked away in an industrial area. Things that are more front and center on a main thoroughfare, I try to be careful about colored lights at night. But I think that given its location.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
you know,
Marisa?
I'm fine with it.
Okay. Sabrina?
Yeah, I agree as well.
Okay. Al, I think we heard.
I like it. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Okay. Again, Charles?
I'm good. I'm very good.
Okay. Can I get a motion then from someone?
Motion to approve.
Seconded?
I second.
Okay.
Who was the
Seconded.
motion? I'm sorry, I missed the motion.
Charles made the motion.
Charles, okay, thank you.
You got the seconded? You
Sure.
have the seconded? Yeah. Okay, all in favor? Raise
Aye.
hands, I guess, quick. Mark, I don't see your hand.
Yeah, I'm up. Can you see
So is anyone against it? Let's put it that way as well.
me?
So, well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so unless somebody shows up for that, now let's just talk about that other building a minute, because they have the two signs that they're
Thank
adding.
you, Bob. I'm gonna say goodbye to Bob. Thank you, Bob. You'll get a resolution and then you can pursue the building permit to put up your sign.
Thank you. Appreciate your
Thank you.
time tonight.
Mr.
Good
Eber.
night.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you. Just from what I was looking at, this building that, they have the two signs, is what is a boxing sign or something, and the other one is something else. But one of them then would effectively be on the side of a building.
It looked like it, yeah. Yeah, there's three signs actually that
Yeah,
they're.
there's
they
three
have
signs,
proposed.
right.
There's 3 signs,
Yeah,
and they have all those decals in the window.
yeah. Now, you want, so that, and I'm pretty sure that we've done some on some of these taller buildings that we've put a sign on at least two sides. One has to be a side sign then.
I'm looking at, as we're talking, I'm looking at the code. I do not see a prohibition against putting a sign on the side. Except with respect to a residential area, there's something that talks about a residential zone, but that's not what we have. I'm just looking at it quickly as we're sitting here, but.
I remember Audi. Audi was one very big building that had signs on multiple sides.
Yeah, right.
That's just my memory.
There's a couple. I think one of the ones on Columbus Avenue also had numbers put on a side as well as a front. But okay, well, I don't know if we want to. You want to talk about this at all, or do you
I
want to
think you
call it
still
a
have
night?
one person waiting for that last one, I think, or,
That last one we just did.
oh, who's this? Let me see who this is here.
I got two, I got
Tony DiGugliano was on there.
Yes. Well, I
No.
see a phone number, 914-447-192-007.
Oh,
Who's
that's
that,
the
please?
song. Yes, you're right.
I was the landlord at 101 Castleton, and I was just listening to the end of the
Oh,
meeting.
okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Thank you,
Okay,
Carol.
I didn't want to miss an
Okay.
applicant. All right, I'm gonna put you on mute then.
No.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we got everybody. The ones now are all this, was it 2, 3, and what have I got here?
Yeah, the three.
Three,
for the
4, and
170
5.
Rating.
Right. And
Why is Tony here?
we did him already, right?
Mr. Guglielmo.
He was on 6.
He said he was just listening to the rest of the meeting. Wasn't that him that just said that?
Oh, yes, that's correct. What was he earlier, I
Well,
guess?
the person on the phone was also, said, that's who I was talking to, I thought, 447-1907. They were listening to the rest of me. He was the landlord for 101 Castleton. So Tony Guglielmo is, I'm still not sure what application he's here. He's just a participant from the public, right? Can you give me a thumbs up, Tony?
Tony, he's still here. I don't know. You got him?
There. He doesn't seem to hear you.
Is he?
I don't see that he's got
I
audio.
think he
really.
might be an accidental entrant to our meeting.
Well,
We
it's
should have
open.
passwords on these things.
Well, he's not, he might just be participating, just as a public,
Oh,
so,
sure, but
yeah.
usually we have passwords on these things to keep out the riffraff.
Well, there's no,
Mr.
yeah,
Guglielmo.
Was it posted online though? How would he have gone in?
we have people RSVP, so,
But
he
there
must
was a townwide notification about the meeting.
but the notification says to please call an RSVP so that when people come, we let them in and they can participate as a public, just an interest, or someone who's an applicant that
Okay.
has 2 or 3 presenters, so.
Come on now.
All right, so I think that's it. I don't think we have anyone else for, let me just double check this.
What is, may I ask, what did this go to?
That went for, I believe it was for AqueQuest.
Okay. I thought so, but I wasn't, I really couldn't figure that out. That looked like something out of the future.
All right, so I think that's it.
Okay, then I'll,
This is gonna be a no-show.
Okay, thank you, Carolyn. for
We
bringing
adjourn,
that.
Mr. Chairman.
now Carol, did they know that they had to come in person?
Yeah, they've applied for many things before. They've been through zoning board, they've been to everything. So they had their application in for a little while, so maybe they forgot the date. But I think
Oh.
Kathy sent them the Zoom invitation, so let me
Okay.
take Kathy off from mute. I'm not
Did
sure
we
if she
ever-
can anything.
Did we ever figure out before who Maria was?
Yeah. Yeah, it
No.
was one of the guys
There
that
was
I think
somebody-
it's his
somebody
it's his
locked
wife's,
earlier
fault.
said Maria.
Probably was his wife's,
Hey, Kathy, did you hear
Okay.
from the India Club? Anyone from the India Cultural Club, Kathy?
is Kathy on? Yeah.
Kathy's name there, but
She
Yeah.
was texting me, so I thought she could say something. She's also at her other job, so she might not be able to talk. All right, so I guess that's it, Walter, whatever you want to
Okay.
call.
All right, we did it. Anyway, never thought I'd do this one.
welcome, Mr.
Walter, I'm proud of
Thank you, Sabrina.
you.
Marissa, we gotta get a better picture of you. You're a little too low in the room.
Yeah, we don't see all of your pretty
Higher
face.
chair,
Ah, there's the beauty.
There we
There
go.
you go.
step stool then.
Okay,
I'll
well, it
keep
was
it on
everybody.
interesting.
for next
I know.
meeting.
Nice to see
Okay.
you all.
Everybody
Bye.
stay
Well.
safe.
Stay healthy, that's the
Good
main
Stay
thing.
healthy.
Okay, well,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Till next
Bye-bye.
time.
be well,
Good night.
keep you wise. Good night.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.